isn't the only thing I'd like to hang. Oh, I don't see why I have to be the one.
Hey, Archel, what are you doing?
Hi, Levi. I'm decorating for the hoity-toity party this evening.
Ah, the one for your brother?
You mean little Mr. Squander your inheritance? Yeah.
You don't sound very happy to have him home.
Should I be?
He is your brother. Why are you so upset?
Don't you know what he did?
He ran off for a while, right? The headline in the Jerusalem Herald said, "Prodigal returns home."
You know what prodigal means, Levi? Well, I'll tell you what it means. It means wasteful. He asked for his share of our inheritance, and Dad was dumb enough to give it to him.
Generous enough, I'd say.
So, he moves away and wastes it all on riotous living.
Riotous living?
You know, gambling, booze, wild parties and the like. I can't remember the last time I had a riot.
You've been a goody two-shoes as long as I've known you.
He runs out of money, flat broke. His so-called friends all desert him, and the economy in the town where he's living collapses. So, you know what he does?
I think you're about to tell me.
He gets a job feeding pigs of all things. Can you imagine a Jewish boy feeding pigs?
Things must have been pretty bad for him.
If I had my way, he'd be walking around for the rest of his life with a big sign that says, "Unclean."
It sounds like you're wallowing in self-pity.
That's better than wallowing in a pigsty.
Archie, it took a lot of courage for him to come home after all of that.
Well, he was only looking out for himself. His stomach led him home. He got hungry and figured the hired hands in our house are well fed. So he comes crawling home and asks if he could be one of the servants.
But he's not a servant, is he?
He would be if I had anything to do with it, but no. Dad saw him coming a long way off and ran out to meet him and got all mushy. You could float Noah's Ark with all the tears he cried. Then, instead of teaching him a lesson, Dad went way overboard.
What do you mean overboard?
Haven't you noticed? Now Pig Boy is wearing Dad's best robe and new shoes and even his ring.
Your dad loves your little brother. It was probably easy to forgive him, just to have him home.
And now here we are, throwing a party to honor his wastefulness.
The party's to celebrate his coming home.
That brat doesn't deserve a party.
He's been through some pretty hard times.
Maybe, but he's brought it all on himself. I've always tried to do what Dad wanted. And you see him throwing a party for me?
Well, no, but you've been enjoying all the best living here this whole time.
Dad just doesn't appreciate me. He's never killed a fatted calf for a party with my friends. Not even a fatted rabbit.
That doesn't mean he doesn't appreciate you.
I'd settle for a fatted guppy.
We're not getting it, are you?
Huh? Get what?
Do you remember the day I started working for your father?
Why do I? I was supervising. There was so much work in the vineyard that day. I thought we'd never get it all done.
And I thought I'd never get a job.
Oh, yeah, that's right, you bum. You didn't start working until the end of the day.
The guys hired first thing in the morning were told they'd be paid $90 for a full day's work.
Even I don't get $90 a day.
But there was so much to be done, your dad saw that you would need more help.
We needed all the help we could get.
So your dad went to town at 10 and noon and again at 3 o'clock looking for more employees. Each time he told the workers that they'd be paid what was fair.
It was great to have all that help, but I still didn't think we'd finish before dark.
Your dad went to town again, and that's when he found me. I was standing in line at the employment agency with a bunch of other guys, and your dad came up and hired us.
That was around 5 o'clock, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was almost the end of the workday, but your dad told us we'd be paid what was fair. We didn't think we'd get much, but it would be better than nothing.
That's when you found out what a nice guy my dad is.
You can say that again. I was first in line to get paid.
As usual.
And your dad handed me $90. The guys who've been working their brains out all day naturally assume they'd be paid more.
Naturally.
Boy, would they ever been out of shape when they got paid $90 too.
Yeah, we had a whole vineyard full of whiners.
But then your dad reminded them that they'd been paid what was promised. They hadn't been treated unfairly. Your dad had just been extra generous with those of us who come in later in the day.
Nice story, Levi. I love reminiscing with you. But what's your point?
Don't you see? It's just like you and your brother.
How do you figure?
Well, that busy day in the vineyard, did you appreciate the men who worked hard the whole day?
You bet. We never could have done it without those guys.
I didn't get there until after 5. Did you appreciate me too?
You're my best friend, Levi. Of course I did. We met our deadline with your help and the hard work of the last group that came.
Ancho, your dad loves you and your brother just the same. You've been here all this time working in the fields and doing what you were supposed to. But you've also been well fed, you live in this beautiful house, and you've been able to have a close relationship with your father. You haven't been treated unfairly. Your father's just being extra generous with your little brother because he loves him.
I suppose you're right. Well, if I'm going to finish getting ready for the party, I guess I'd better get rid of these hors d'oeuvres.
The fruit skewers? Why? What's wrong with them?